I love reading books, and I think that books can really transfer lots of information into your brain. When I'm asked what's the most important thing you can recommend of, I always think of few books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, but probably the most important book has nothing to do with this riches or mindset or stuff like that. It has to do with people skills, which is something that unfortunately we're not being taught in school. And I think that the best book that was ever written until this very day is a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read this book when I was 14 and it totally changed my life. I read it again and again, and it's one of my Bibles. Like, in the recent years, I had too many books, and I'm kind of, starting to give books away, but Dale Carnegie is always there. The book is really sweetly written. It's written in a very sweet and friendly language. I was able to read it when I was 14 and be okay with it. And the messages are just amazing. I remember until this very day, one of the sentences that he says there, that there is one word that the person loves the most, which is his or her name. And it's really important to remember their names. I was telling myself at the age of 14 that I'm not good with names. Imagine yourself, what is such a limiting belief. Oh, I would meet some person, I would say, oh, I'm not good with names. So if I'm not good with names, anyhow, I would not remember their name. So reading this, I was like, okay, this is important. What should I do? And then I started to look into techniques of how to remember names. I am very good with remembering names right now, and this is so important for me in human interactions because people love to hear their name. Like, you see their eyes light, especially if it's like I haven't seen them for half a year or 2 years. It's really important. Another thing that he says is to give sincere compliments. So not compliments that are fake, because people don't like that. It doesn't resonate with them, and it looks like you're trying to flatter them. So not flattery, but sincere compliments. And I'm sure that with time, as you go through life, you will actually develop this skill, because it's a skill. The more I develop this skill, the more I see beautiful things in every person, and to comment about this beautiful thing, or whether it's their physical appearance, whether it's something that they said, something that they do, something that helped me, I always compliment them, I always thank them, I always express my gratitude, and it's so important, So friends, if you have one book that you could take with you to a lonely island, it probably shouldn't be that, because you'd be with yourself. But if you're going to continue living on this planet, I would have to tell you that it's one of the most important books. It's never too late to read it, and it's not as catchy and commercial as it may sound. It's a really good book that was written from the heart of Dale Carnegie, and I love it. So read it if you haven't read it. And if you read it, reread it. It's so fun. It's by my bed. I love it.